12 championship.
Yeah.
And then
Okay. Really excited the way we played on Sunday, much more like senior softball style. I think there were a lot of exhales after that. It was late, but it was better than never. We found some great things from Carly Keeney, which was good. And the freshmen are just continuing to, sometimes they're carrying us, but I mean, they're pretty elite freshmen. So I liked how we finished, and we had a really good day today, and I'm trusting that we're going to get through finals well enough. So on Thursday, we can really get focused on what we're trying to do.
start with Ryan Avery.
Patty, I want to ask you about Carly. We just talked to her, and she talked about the process of coming back from that injury. What's really stood out to you about that, especially the way she's looked, not only last weekend, but the build-up over the last few weeks to get to this point?
She's just a program guy. She's just very in tune with what's going on. She handles her work like a professional. And she's a team person. She's just always in it. She's not pouting and, boo-hooing and I should be this or that. She's just waiting for her turn. And she's just a wonderful example of just a good team player and a hard worker and everything you would want out of a pitcher or just an athlete. So it was almost kind of a matter of time when this is going to be her time. And she grabbed it, she shined, and gives us some great options going forward.
That's what follow-up I was going to make. Just what does that do for you, just as far as giving you another good option?
I missed the first.
Just what does that do as far as giving you more options?
Yes. Okay. A lot, really. It's not like we didn't believe in her, but we were really trying to get some of these other pitchers to find their groove. And I think Carly really came in. I mean, that's the best I've ever seen her throw for us. So I think a lot of these seniors, I think they're just kind of saying this is it. They're either going to do one or the other. They're going to go, oh my gosh, this is it. I've got to really, 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 and you really don't. Or they're going to say, I'm going for it. I got nothing to lose. That's Carly right now. But I think what she did was a good example to our other pitchers to say, look how locked in, focused, competitive she is. And she's making this look easy. And I hope that we all saw that, learned lessons from that, instead of trying to be perfect. And the harder we try, the more we'll leave balls over the plate.
Jesse and then Mason.
Patty, I wanted to ask you about Ella. It's going through her freshman year. Bless you. Bless you.
Ella.
Yeah, just, we've asked you about her before, but now that she's kind of got this regular season under her belt, just what stood out to you the most in terms of her going through her freshman year, the highs and lows of learning the game? What stood out to you the most just about her process of kind of maybe finding her rhythm?
Yeah, it was interesting when she first came. She was very nervous and shaky somewhat. She had a lot to learn, and she did. But hitting-wise, that's always been something that she is heavily recruited for, specifically that. But, some freshmen come in with an attitude like, I know how to hit, this is the way I hit, and they don't want JT's help. But when they surrender and they believe in what he's doing, and she did, they go to another level. So she surrendered that really quickly, as did Cassidy Pickering. And I can't see them not in this lineup with the way they both are swinging. What's beauty about Ella is she's got power, but she could lay down a bunt. And I don't know that I would ever want to call that, but she runs really well. That's why we've been using her in the leadoff also. Times when Jada, she's been there, she's done that, she knows what it's supposed to feel like, but Ella knows it too. And so I'm trying to give her that opportunity as well, because that might be a place where she'll be next year.
How rare is that maybe as a freshman, not only you mentioned kind of the versatility where she can hit in the lineup, the different types of pitches, but also that mentality of kind of surrendering. Maybe how rare is that, or just how great is that when you find that?
I think it's rare. I think it took her some time to figure out how to not play a little nervous. She comes from a pedigree of amazing athletes, and I think she's just around it enough. But she's also around a lot of upperclassmen who, I'm not going to say they demand, but when you're out there and you see the way they're practicing and playing, you know the standard or the expectation offensively, defensively. She just kind of fell right into it.
Thank you.
How do you talk about the confidence that the pitching is going to get back on track and that Carly gives you another option? What do you feel like are maybe some of the keys for Kelly and for Kirsten to kind of get back to dominating like they were?
Yeah, I add Nicole. I thought Nicole May this last weekend threw pretty dang well. I think KD threw really well out at UCF. Sometimes I don't know that they're used to coming in maybe out of the bullpen or what have you. I knew this was going to be a big weekend for Kelly, but it's all about trusting what you've got and your confidence. If you're second guessing or, I'm not sure, I don't know that I'm ready to throw that pitch, or whatever it is that you're thinking, you just got to be a boss, and you just have that mentality like I am getting after you. I am going to hit. I'm hitting this. You're not beating me attitude. And I think sometimes we try to be very finesse oriented or fine tuning, and sometimes you got to rear back and just go after it. And I felt Keeney in that way. You could see it in her face and her body language. And I think when Nicole May does that, they need to sustain it. What was been happening to us a little bit is, say, a walk, a ball up the middle, and then a ball out of the park. We've got to keep the ball in the yard, and we will win games. We've got to minimize walks, minimize hit batters, and that's something that we're really working on. I think sometimes we try to be so perfect that we're not even close to it.
Ryan Chapman and then Chris.
Sticking with the pitching, Coach Rocha seems to have a real knack for getting pitchers to peak this time of year. You think May, her freshman year, Bedlam through, and then G coming alive, Hope. Like, what is it about Coach Rocha that allows everything to really sink in, that it just thrives in May and June?
She is definitely the voice of calm and reason, which is what every pitching coach, every pitcher needs, I think, from a pitching coach, someone that can talk them down. We just had a good conversation today, and she is really excited. As much as you could look at the outcomes, she's very excited with some of the things that she saw. There were signs of really good pitchers and really good innings. And we believe, and she believes, that we're moving and trending up at the right time. But she has a real good sense of how to speak to pitchers, because she was a pitcher, and they respect her, they believe her, they listen to her. So, and I believe her too. So I'm really excited after talking to her today about the direction that the staff's going.
Coach, what do you feel like your team can get out of this opportunity, where it's not do or die yet, but it is a tournament? You have some of the best teams in the country playing in that neutral site.
We're talking about Big 12?
Yeah, this week.
I think this team is a team that likes opportunity to get whoever might have beaten them. They hope to see them again, to make it right, or to like revenge tour, whatever you want to call it. But there's things we can gain from this weekend. If we can win it all, we likely are going through some really good teams, which would help maybe move us again. We don't care right now, to be honest. If we're 1, 2, 4, 5, as long as we're in the 8 and we're home throughout, that's what we're looking for. So I really think we can catapult off of this last game we had Sunday And I think their finals are going to be over. We've had long conversations about like this is the last thing you're going to do as a senior, and it's the thing you want to remember the most. And so don't try too hard. Just when they have fun. And that honestly is why we're a little bit late today, because they were having so much fun on the field that we lost track of time because they were competing in a way that I hadn't seen them do in a while. So I really love the direction that we're going right now. And they look to put it all together at the right time. So the Big 12 tournament, of course we want to win it, but we want to see our steps go in the right direction because ultimately we're after winning all of it.
Bob and then Daniel.
Going back to Ella and Cassidy, when did you know they were physically, mentally